Hey guys, it's me, Kenisha from Keyshaszone, and welcome back to my channel. I have a son who's going to turn 3 in November, and so we're on our journey to find the perfect pre-K for him. So we're touring some schools this week, and I have a list of questions that I'm going to be asking the principals, and I found almost all of the questions on this specific website called lifeasmama.com, and she has an article with 7 questions you definitely want to ask, or maybe 9 questions you definitely want to ask. So I drew some inspiration from that, and then I did add my own questions at the end. So I just wanted to come on here and share this information with you. So if you're maybe in the position that I am, and this is your first child, and you're already excited, nervous, anxious, just everything, you want to go prepared. And of course, especially for my husband and I, it's not only our first child, it's a completely different school system than it is in Belgium. So it's not at all what we're used to. So I might ask questions that you might think is weird, or the principal might think like, is she really asking me that? But I'm like, yes, because I have no clue, and I need all the information before I actually hand over my child into your care. Okay, and if it's not too much, I will go ahead and type everything out down below in the description box, so you can also follow there. I'm just not sure how much I'm going to be able to narrow it down to. But the first question I'm going to ask is, what is the school's philosophy? Is it a play-based school? Is it more focused on academics? Is it a lot of focus on religion? Now, none of the schools that we are touring are connected to a church, so I doubt that there's going to be, a response back to me that it is going to be highly religious. Connected to that school philosophy is what is their policy and what is their preference when it comes to the open door policy. Can I just walk in and grab Idris? Do I have to not make an appointment, but let the teachers know a couple days beforehand, like, hey, on Thursdays I'm gonna have to pick him up earlier because of this reason? And how am I going to get information about how he's doing? Do I get daily reports? Do I get updates? Is it only on, if he napped that day, if he ate what he ate that day, if all that? Am I gonna get daily reports, daily updates? Another very important topic is discipline. The main one, of course, is how do you discipline children, because they are, they're gonna have tantrums. They might push, kick, obviously you hope that you raise your child to not do anything like that, but in our case, he is an only child, so I'm not sure how he's going to act around other kids for that long of a time. Obviously, we've been to playgrounds and all that stuff, but actually, for hours with a bunch of other kids playing with the same toys, I hope that he's very good in sharing, but you really never know. Is he going to push somebody because he wants that toy? Is somebody going to pull on him because they want that toy? What is their policy on disciplining? Do they take them to a separate room, talk to them? Is there timeout? Do the parents get notified? Do we get notified for every little thing? Or do we get notified when something major happens, like maybe biting? And what is their policy on biting? It also said that on that website that some schools do send children home for the day if they bite another kid, or whomever. If they bite, they send the child home. Then the teacher's qualifications. What are the minimum base qualifications that your teachers have, right? Do they have early childhood education? Do they have a bachelor's or a master's in something else. You know, the CPR training, how many times do they have that? The certificate for CPR, I mean. How long has the pre-K teacher been there? You know, has she just been there for a year? You know, like all that stuff. Do the teachers move with the children at the end of the year? And so they have them for the next year of pre-K and then for kindergarten and so on and so forth. Or every year he gets a new teacher. Because also that's obviously different school to school. And by the way, guys, there is a website. I'm not sure. I definitely did not save it. So if I find it, I will definitely put it right here if I can, and also link it in the description box. There is a website that shows you every state's rules and regulations when it comes to the ratio for teacher and children. So how many children are allowed in that age group for one teacher, if that makes any sense. A separate topic is also the parent involvement. So again, that open door policy, the daily reports, are there fundraisers that they want us to be heavily involved in, events after school that we have to be involved in, volunteering, like what is their expectations of me and of my husband as a parent. Okay, then social and academic growth. Again, guys, I got all of this from her website, so definitely check it out. She had some really good questions, and I did not write down everything because not everything I felt was necessary. So definitely check out the link that I will put down below. So there's social and academic growth. How will Idris's progress, well, just all the children's progress, be measured? Is it like, yes, at the end of this year, he has to be able to count to 10, he has to know all his colors, he has to know all his shapes, like how is that being measured? And also, how is that going to be reported? Are there parent-teacher conferences every couple of months, or is it via the daily report? Safety, which is a huge one, which is like I probably have the most questions under the category safety. And I definitely have questions on here that I would not ask in Belgium. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the United States that is so foreign for my husband and I, and it's definitely very scary. So a question is security cameras, not only at the front and at the back entrance. Are there security cameras in each classroom? One of the schools that we are touring, I already know they do have cameras in every classroom, and as parents you are able to go online, log in, and just check on the classroom, which is something that I really like. Some schools have keypad entry, so that's also a question that I'm going to be asking. I'm obviously going to see it when I'm going to go into the school. The sign in and sign out procedure, is there a list that I give in the beginning of the year saying these are all the people that can pick him up? And you know, how will they check that? Like do you take a picture of our driver's license so that you can see this face, this name? Like, how does that work? Fire plans, like what are the fire escape plans that you have in place? We are in Kansas, so we know that this state is prone to have tornadoes. What are the plans? What are your safety procedures for that? The cleaning procedure is something that was so important to me, and I was like, is that actually a question that I can ask? And it actually was on the website to ask this question specifically. You know, when illnesses hit the school, how does the school deal with it, and how do they clean everything? But also just on a weekly basis, how does everything get clean and remain fresh? Also, a very important one, their vaccination policy. Is there a list of must-have vaccines? And then some other random ones. What, if any, meals are served? So one of the schools definitely does lunch. Some of the other schools do breakfast and lunch. So I just want to see like a menu. Is there something that we can pick off? Is it like, do we pick a new menu every week? How do we pick it? Also, birthday policies. Are we allowed to bring in treats for the class? Probably not food, because some kids may have allergies, and you know, you definitely want to stay away from that. But like small toys and stuff, is that allowed? A very important question is, what is the tuition? Of course, but are field activities included in the tuition, or is that a separate fee that we would have to pay? So yeah, and then I do have a couple separate questions that I thought about after. Yes, so what would he need to bring on the first day of school? Like, does he need to bring a toothbrush for the napping situation? You know, does he need to bring a mattress cover and a blanket? You know, his pillow? Like, what does he need to bring on his first day that we drop him off? Then also a simple question of what does a school day look like? So I just want to hear from A to Z. When I drop him off, what time does whatever course start, how his day is going to look like. I really find that important to know, so that's definitely something that I'm going to be asking. Also, in their professional opinion, what's the best way for Idris to transition from being at home to going to school? Would they suggest on him coming in for a full week, 5 days, but do half days? Do they suggest no, don't do half days, but do 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and make them full days? What is going to be the best for my child to transition from being at home with mom to going to a class environment with complete strangers and adapting well? Obviously, every child is different, I'm well aware, but just in their professional opinion, what is the best way for him to transition as comfortably as possible? And then my last extra question is, have they ever had a student which first language was not English, and how do they handle it? I would assume they're going to answer me yes. Probably they have had kids that spoke Spanish at home. I'm not too worried about that because I am teaching him a lot of English words. He's bilingual at this point, but he's going to be trilingual soon. He does know a couple of Turkish words here and there, but Dutch is definitely the first language, then English, then Turkish. So I also would prefer them to not teach him any other language at this point. One of the schools does teach Spanish as well. I am going to see if that's something that I can, decline politely, because I feel like maybe a fourth language at this age is going to be a little bit confusing for him. So guys, I know that this was a long video, but if you're a first-time mom, I hope you wrote down some questions and I hope you got some extra information. If you have any questions for me that you think I should add to my list, please let me know, because I'm going to drop this video on Tuesday. That's my goal, because I'm going to be touring the schools at the end of the week, and so I can add all the questions that you guys are going to hopefully give me additional to the list that I already have. So thank you so much for watching this super long video, and I hope it helped you as much as it did me, and then I will see you in the next video. Bye guys. Mwah.